Hello everyone, hope you guys are having a great day. It is May 24th, and today I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about, pretty much what I normally do, just severe weather, and really just what is going on right now, with the weather. Of course, we have a lot of active stuff going on, a pretty active severe weather pattern, with the plains getting several days of severe weather, and it does look like there is a certain event that stands out to me mid this week. It's in a couple of days, and it kind of looks a little concerning. So I'm going to talk about that. Let's get started with what's going on currently. Today we have a slight risk that extends from Nebraska down into Texas, just a little bit further southeast from yesterday. And along this triple point, this was the area, or not really, yeah, kind of a triple point set up right here. This is the area I was concerning with a tornado potential. I think it was yesterday's video. I was talking about a little bit of a tornado threat maybe along that triple point, and that's exactly what happened. We can take a look at today's tornado reports so far. It's been very active. We've had 16 tornado reports. Those have all been in western Kansas. So, pretty photogenic tornadoes as well. So that's kind of good because the Plains has had a pretty bad severe weather season. The past couple of severe weather seasons. This, in my opinion, the 2021 season has been better than the 2020 season so far. But yeah, so right now we have a pretty active radar in western Kansas here. We can see we have a pretty good looking storm coming into Garden City. Garden City is in southwestern Kansas. We can see Dodge City is to the east southeast of Garden City, just to give you kind of a perspective. Garden City, the west side of it, is in this severe thunderstorm warning. This storm likely has some pretty significant sized hail with it. And we can play out the radar here. Approaching 70 dBZs coming into Deerfield. It's likely some hail coming along this highway right here. It comes out of the north side of Garden City. And this storm has a little bit of a good appearance. This is a supercell storm, of course. Classic supercell on radar. Definitely large hail damaging winds with this, but it does kind of look like it could be a little bit of a producer, maybe a tornado threat. Somewhere, we might have a little bit of broad rotation right in that area. And up here, we don't really have a good radar for this, but kind of by Waukene, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. We do have a tornado warning right there for this supercell. It's going to be kind of hard to take a look at it on the radar. We don't have any good radars, but we can see here we do have some broad rotation. But I want to go ahead and go back to the SPC, and I want to take a look at the SPC meso analysis, or meso analyst, so we can see what kind of environment we have for these storms in southwestern Kansas. That's the wrong sector, my bad. All right, here we go. So those are our storms approaching the Garden City area here. These are kind of right around this triple point. We can see we have our surface low right around here, some kind of front up here. We also had a spin up earlier along the outflow boundary. I've seen this happen several times, and actually, this happened in 2020 in one of my live streams. It happened in South Dakota by Rapid City. Sometimes when you have an outflow boundary, that can actually interact with a storm, and actually give it a little bit of a greater tornado threat. And we saw one of those. I don't know if the one in South Dakota in my live stream several months ago actually produced, but I know one did today, and that was kind of caused by that outflow boundary. That was kind of cool to watch. Cape right now, Cape is definitely not an issue. We do have some capping coming in, but that's not really going to do too much. Might limit some new storms. That's not going to really do too much. We have around 2,000 to 3,000 surface-based capes, a pretty significant cape, or a decent amount of cape. LCL height's definitely favorable. Let's look at some of this stuff here. Mid-level lapses is kind of important for the hail threat. We do have some decent lapse rates, and the hail threat's going to be the highest, kind of in this area, or further to the south in Texas. And actually, we can take a look at the day one hail outlook. It's kind of might be a little blurred, but we can see we have that 15 sig up in northwestern Kansas right here. Take a look at SR. This is storm relative felicity surface to 1 kilometer. Not very high numbers with that, but definitely I would really want to watch these storms coming into Garden City with the hail threat maybe we could get a brief tornado come out maybe we could get a brief tornado. The tornado threat doesn't look to be too significant, but uh, we do have kind of a spike in some stuff right around those two cells, and that looks we have decent shear as well. So we're definitely gonna need to watch that. Um, we're definitely gonna need to watch these two cells by Garden City. This one by Deerfield definitely has a hook. Uh, two supercells coming into Garden City, and I would expect a severe thunderstorm warning for Garden City to come out pretty soon. I'm not to see if these storms make it further to the east. Maybe they could affect the Dodge City area. Let me do something here. I'm not really used to using GR2, but yeah, these storms are gonna come into Garden City soon. So yeah, we can also take a look at satellite. These storms look really impressive on satellite. This is visible satellite. You can see these are our storms by Garden City. We have some more convection up here. These anvils are stretching very far to the north. And storms down in the Texas Panhandle just starting to go off. They're actually really not just starting to go off. They went off a few hours ago, but these look very, very severe. Or not really severe, but these look very good on satellite as well. Let me take a look at the whole U.S. With satellite here. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. You can see, or actually, let me go to IR. And yes, we can see our convection in the plains. We have a high, let's just say we have a high right here that's going to be acting as pretty much a death ridge to bring the southeast to heat wave. We were able to get some moisture into the mid-Atlantic today, areas in North Carolina and Virginia. We did get some storms to go off. And yeah, so this is going to just really continue to bring precip around the southeast. States like South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and even Florida are going to be pretty dry and definitely very hot. In fact, actually, today we had some pretty decent. A lot of areas had another 90-degree day today. So definitely some pretty hot temperatures in the southeast, especially for May. Now that's what's going on tonight. I want to talk about tomorrow now. So let me go back to the SPC's homepage here and take a look at convective outlooks. So tomorrow we just have a large marginal risk going from Texas up into UP and Michigan. This is for Tuesday. Tuesday doesn't look too interesting, to be honest. But then we go into Wednesday. Wednesday looks to be interesting across Nebraska. And then Thursday looks to be very interesting. Really across this whole area. That might be a little too big, but Wednesday and Thursday look to be maybe a potential severe weather outbreak. So let's start looking at this. I'm not going to really look at tomorrow too much. Tomorrow is not really my main focus. I want to talk about Tuesday. I want to start off with Wednesday. So this is the HRRR. Goes out just far enough to get us an eye. Or let's go back. Let's go to the NAM actually. So the NAM on Wednesday. Let's go ahead and go to 21Z. So could be seeing a decent little winter or snowstorm for the north or for areas of central Canada. We have a surface low in eastern Wyoming. We have this long cold front stretching down into the southeast. This could bring a little bit of moisture, maybe into some areas of Alabama, Mississippi. Not a whole lot of widespread precip down there, but this ridge is going to start to get kind of smashed a little bit, maybe allowing a little bit of moisture to come in to play. And see, we have a little bit of a storm system maybe hitting the northwest. But this is the area we're going to want to watch. And just by looking at this, I can tell we really want to watch this area. And 00Z, we can see this low has shifted to the southeast a little bit. Let me zoom in on this area. There's really not a good sector for this, but we'll use this one. We have maybe some convection starting to go off in this area. Take a look at dews. Yeah, we have plenty of moisture. Let's just take a sounding right here. I'm not expecting this to be too good. That's actually very good. Uh, Definitely a large hail threat. Uh, Tornado threat though. This is worthy of a 5% risk. This is actually not bad. This Hodo doesn't look the best, but definitely you're gonna have a tornado threat with this. And these storms are just gonna blow up. It's gonna be really interesting to watch these on satellite. Further to the south, out in Kansas, shear is a little bit worse, but still large hail threat for sure. And damaging winds will be a threat as well, but the large hail threat seems to be the highest at this time. But already looking like we're gonna be having the threat for tornadoes. I want to take out SP Cape, surface crossovers, and got some decent shear all the way down into Kansas. Definitely supportive of a tornado threat. Problem is we're not going to have some of the other ingredients. The severe weather threat, or well, the NAM doesn't really have any storms initiating down there, but we could see. I think we're going to see a severe weather risk going to be later into Wednesday night. At 03Z, we can see right along this low. We have a lot of convection, even some convection further to the south, along some type of boundary. Let's take a sounding right along this low, and this is going to be. Oh wow, that is really good. All right, here, this is not a PDS Tor sounding, but we're still going to look at it. The shear with this sounding is really good. The Hodo looks really good. Pretty much everything in this sounding is perfect, even the critical angle. Or not perfect, but the critical angle is 90 degrees. That's really perfect. Shear, very favorable. We have plenty of instability. Really not much limiting this. We have a little bit of capping, which that's understandable. We're going into the night, but if we can get the right storm mode, I think we're gonna see we could see a decent tornado threat across. Really, this area. I do think we're gonna see it outside of that area, of course, but this area looks to have a pretty enhanced tornado threat right around that surface low. We'll take a sounding in Kansas, and by far this is not bad. This is you're gonna have a tornado threat with these shear profiles, and so I do think we're still gonna have a tornado threat for really much of this area here, but the greatest tornado threat looks to be in central Nebraska. I'm thinking this area, really just a sliver of central Nebraska. We go to the next forecast hour, 060. This is around midnight. That surface low is still getting deeper. Let's take a sounding at eastern Nebraska. And just, wow, that's contaminated, so let me try and get a new one. The only PDS Tor soundings I'm getting are contaminated, but this sounding is not contaminated. It is a little capped, but the shear profiles of this, look at that shear, though. That is just great. The Hodos are so enlarged. I can't really get a sounding up closer. That's really the best I could probably get. Take a sounding in southern Nebraska. Still a little bit of a tornado threat down there. So really, this continues. I really think the greatest tornado threat's going to be right around this surface low on Wednesday into even early Thursday morning. SPC already has a slide risk out for this area. Could we see a 10 Tor? We will have to see. And we can see 09Z. We still have this complex of storms moving into Iowa. This is getting closer to sunrise. And I would expect a severe weather threat once again on Thursday. It's kind of a weird sounding. Take a sounding right here. Still a tornado threat continuing. So, the area I want to watch Wednesday night. It's kind of my final area. It's a little too big. I really want to watch central and eastern Nebraska. That's the area I want to watch. It kind of depends on where the surface low goes. The surface low along that surface low is going to have the greatest tornado threat. But we will have a tornado threat outside of that area. I think Kansas will have a tornado threat as well. And even Thursday, I do think we're going to see some very interesting storms. So, 15Z on Thursday. You have a complex of storms in Iowa still going on. Surface low up there. Surface low in Iowa. Let me switch over to the Midwest so we can actually see this now. Let me move that. Take a sounding in northern Illinois. I'm not expecting this to be really good. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Okay. Let's take one up in Iowa now. You're not going to get anything out of that. But those soundings were kind of outside of the warm sector. Let's take a sounding in western Illinois now. This is probably going to be a bit better. Yeah. This is in favor of 5% tour risk. Plenty of instability still. Just problems of storm mode potentially. But I do think we're going to have maybe an embedded supercell. Or even just some embedded tornadoes inside of this line. And with this sounding, we do see shear profiles are still, once again, good. Definitely supportive of a tornado threat. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go out to Thursday afternoon. This is 21Z. The name even indicates some snow in Wisconsin. That's kind of funny. Take a sounding there. Yeah, barely cold enough. Let's see what some other models have for that. GFS has some snow further to the north. Canadian has a whole different story. This is going to be messed up. The CFS doesn't really show anything, but that's at a different time. But I do think we are going to see some snow maybe for this area on Thursday. So that's kind of interesting. Now let's go back to the NAM, the 18-0 in the NAM, and talk about Thursday afternoon. The SPC has a 15% risk out for Thursday afternoon. You can see Thursday evening. We have a low right to the north of St. Louis. Let's just take a sounding in Illinois. Definitely supportive of a little bit of a tornado threat. I'll take a sounding in not Iowa, Indiana, my bad. It's tornado threat as well. Take a sounding in Missouri. Tornado threat as well. So, I mean, overall, it does look like Wednesday and Thursday are going to be very active. I'd say we're gonna want to watch this area on Thursday or Wednesday, my bad, and then this area on Thursday, or this area on Wednesday, this area on Thursday. Pretty much right around the surface low. It does look like we're gonna have a very active Wednesday and Thursday this week for severe weather. I do think we're gonna see a couple tornadoes. We had tornadoes today. But it does look like we're also going to see more tornadoes on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, of course, I'm not going to say how much we're going to have, but it does look like we're going to have a tornado threat on Wednesday and Thursday in these areas, and maybe outside of these areas as well. But this looks to be like the hot spot, in my opinion. But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. Yes, goodbye.